very much for everyone for joining us today in our information session. I'm happy to be here with you all, and once again, you're welcome. Those that have joined us via Zoom and those that are joining us by Facebook Live. On the call, I have my colleague Rosin, who is the Associate Director of Student Admission, and she's going to help me to do the presentation today. She'll be helping with questions and answering. And then we have Adeline, who is hosting us today. So today we are going to talk a little bit about everything CMU Africa. We'll talk about a brief history of CMU Africa, and then we'll talk about our programs, scholarship, and then students life here in Rwanda, Kigali. So I'm going to share my screen with you all really quick so you can. All right. So this first slide shows CMU Africa, our facility. And then when you look on the left here on the page, it shows the facility in the night. The middle here, we have the main entrance, and then that leads to the lobby. This lobby leads, the stairs you see leads to the staff and faculty offices. And then up here, we have the classrooms, and then other study rooms and labs and other rooms. Now, CMU Africa was born out of CMU Pittsburgh, that's Carnegie Mellon University, Pittsburgh in the United States. So that is the CMU Pittsburgh is the mother campus. So CMU in general was founded in 1900. That is more than a century ago, and it was started by Andrew Carnegie. As you can see, that's his photograph here. He was an industrialist, very hard worker, dedicated to his job, to what he had great passion for higher education. One of his favorite quotes is that my heart is in the work. And this is what has become CMU's motto, that our work is in the work. Whatever we do here at CMU Africa, we make sure we are very dedicated, we're passionate about it, and make sure that we give our best. On the right, on the same page, you'll see our rankings. So we are number one when it comes to computer science in the United States, management information systems, software engineering, and then artificial intelligence. Now, at the bottom, you see the 18th and 28th. The 18th is the number that we occupy when the ranking in the among the US universities. We are number 18. Now, there are more than 3,500 colleges in the United States. Out of that, we are number 18. And then in the world, which I don't know how many colleges and universities are out there, but we come 28th. That this tells you that we are a prestigious university with a very high quality programs. Now, CMU Africa. CMU Africa was the idea was the CMU Africa was created out of an agreement between CMU Pittsburgh and that of the government of Rwanda. That was in 2011. The year after, the first classes started, 2012. 2 years later, we had our first graduation. Our programs between a year and a half and 2 years, depending on the students. And then 2021, which is 7 years down the line, we have graduation now. So you can see how we've been steadily growing. Our programs are in IT and engineering. This is the area that we develop our students for career-wise. Then here at CMU, this is where you elevate your career. We make sure that we train you, we give you the skills and the knowledge you need to be able to progress in your career. At CMU Africa, that is CMU Africa, our programs are only master's programs. Our programs are only master's programs. Currently we have 3 programs, which I'll show you in the next slide. These are the programs that we have. We have the MSIT, which is Masters of Science in Information Technology. And then we have electrical computer engineering. And then we have the artificial intelligence. These are the details of the programs and their duration, right? We have with the MSIT, it's 3 to 4 semesters with 3 months internship, and then 1 semester practicum or research, right? And then we have the ECE, the electrical and computer engineering. That one is 2 to 3 semesters, depending on the student and how many credit hours units you are willing to handle at the same in a semester. And then we have internship, which is optional, and then course projects. Say with masters, with the and then with the ECE, we have the advanced degree. So with the advanced one, that's the advanced master's degree. With the advanced master's degree, you have to take extra courses to be able to get to meet all the requirements, right? Because you're taking extra courses, it extends the duration of the program. So that is 3 to 4 semesters with same components, but with additional courses. And then finally, we have the artificial intelligence, which is 3 to 4 semesters, and also internship is optional, and then engineering project. Now, if let's say that you're thinking about a specific field, as cybersecurity, software engineering, and things like that, you might be asked, so how does that work? Like if you enroll in the information technology, right? How would you still be able to pursue your long-term goals, academic goals, like how to specialize? We have what we call concentrations, and these are the various concentrations we have, right? So you might be pursuing Masters of Science in Information Technology, but you can decide to focus on cybersecurity, IT entrepreneurship, something like that. And then there are other programs. So we have these are the concentrations. You have an area that you're going to focus on. You can also decide not to focus on any area and then do maybe like Masters of Science in Information Technology, that you don't have to focus on any field or any particular area. These are the industries that we work with. Right. As a master's degree student, you have the opportunity to work on projects and you have internship. As I mentioned earlier, 2 slides before, that some of the programs have internship component, but it is optional. Now, the internship gives you like real work experience, right? Because with an internship, you'll be working with these companies, IBM, Chase, JP Morgan Chase is a bank in the United States, and so on and so forth, right? With practicum is more like, how do you call it? It's like problem solving. It's like project work in a group, right? So let's say Warding will reach out to us and say, okay, they have a challenge. Maybe they want to develop some software that is going to help enhance customer service, right? Let's say customer relation management software, right? So they will approach us, and then we'll put students together. We'll see what the students' concentrations, and then we'll put the students together, assign a faculty to them, and then they are going to work on this problem, right? To create this software that Wireding is asking for. And then they present that to Wireding to solve their problem. Now, this is a real life situation. So once they finish their the project, or they create the software for Wireding, that they own the intellectual property, right? Means that that project or the software they develop belongs to the student. Some of the students, once they graduate, they go on to start their own business, right? And then they continue to work as a team and succeed in their careers. So these are some of the great components, that come with the various core programs and the way they are structured. Now, I mentioned that once they get out, they go and then some start their own businesses and things like that. That's our alumni body. We have over 320 alumni that they've graduated from, and they are representing 16 different countries. And then 96% of our students, they get a job within 6 months of graduation. So what this means is that if you join CMU, once you graduate, you stand 96% chance of getting employed within six months of your graduation. And then almost all the organizations or companies that hire our students are really satisfied with the skills and knowledge that they bring on board, which means that we really prepare our students for them to develop, to excel in their field. And since it's a master's program, we work with these companies to make sure that we get a good deal for our students, right? So about 30% of them starts at the managerial position. We have, there's also with our programs, you can decide to choose either entrepreneurship or we have what we call tracks, right? One of the track is academia. Maybe you just want to finish once you finish your graduate degree, your master's degree, you want to go straight into your PhD, do your doctorate. Some of our students, quite sizable amount of our students do that. We have out of those who pursue their master's, their PhD, we have over 30 of them in prestigious PhD programs across the world. Notably, we have some from MIT, Oxford, and so on and so forth. Right? Carnegie Mellon is well known worldwide. So if you have a certificate, a degree from Carnegie Mellon, these institutions and schools, they know the degree, they know what you're coming on board with. Right? And these are some of the areas that our students work at, and some of the companies that our students work at. We have the World Bank, Bank of Kigali, MTN, and so on and so forth. On the right, you see the areas that our students are usually employed. 40, of course, over 42% of them are in the IT field. Now, for student body, I mentioned earlier that we have over 320 students representing 16 different countries. Now we are growing. The current student body we have, they are representing 21 different nations on the continent. This is a great, opportunity for you to learn and network, right? If you are from the south, let's say Botswana, you're going to meet somebody from Tunisia, you're going to meet somebody from the west, like Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, you meet some of the people from the east, a lot of Rwandese, Kenyans, Ethiopians, and so on and so forth. The opportunity this presents you as a student, right, is you understanding these different cultures, and appreciating the beauty of Africa. We all have perception. The South have perception about the North has perception about the South, East, West, and so on and so forth. Now you have real life experience where you interact with these students from all across the continent, and you learn. You will re-educate, yourself when it comes to the culture on the continent, and it helps you to also build a network. Once you graduate, you can keep these relationships you build and use that to enhance your career, professional goals. So in addition to all the great opportunities CMU presents, this is one of the amazing ones. Career fairs. We being part of CMU is not just going to the classroom and then learning and then getting out. We make sure that we prepare you for we prepare you professionally, for the job markets. So we organize career fairs where companies come, like some of the companies I've mentioned earlier, Bank of Kigali, World Bank, and so on and so forth. We bring those companies we bring them together with the students, right? We bring them to the students, we bring the students, and then create partnership. And then we hold fairs, right, where they employ the students. They look for students. They look for people from within the student body and employ them. We have the internship fairs also, but the internship is different from career fairs. Career fairs, once you graduate, you have a job. Internship is part of the program, right? And we have 8 of our female students working at doing their internship at World Bank. That is a corporate internship. Now, talking about helping our students and providing the resources for them to succeed both as students and as professionals. This is one of the tools that, or one of the resources, I should say, that we have that supports the students. The industry innovation lab, we call it incubator. This is where we build, professionals. So at this lab, we have dedicated staff and faculty that provide mentoring and training, network of potential investors, and so on and so forth, right, for the students. So let's say you're working on your research, you decide to do a research, chart the research path right after you graduate, you want to pursue your PhD or things like that. This lab is going to support you for you to succeed in your research in your research. And then let's say you want to start your own business. You decide to be an entrepreneur. The lab is going to support you to succeed in your long-term goals. So being part of CMU Africa, you're part of the family. While a student, after that, we continue to support you, make sure that you succeed. Now, how do you make your application stand out? CMU, as I've mentioned, is a prestigious institution. Our application is our admission process is very competitive. So I would encourage that you put in the time to present, submit an outstanding application so that you stand a chance of being admitted. The next few slides, I'm going to walk you through the application deadline and application timeline and the things you need to submit to make your application out. First, we're going to talk about the application timeline. 1st of October, the application open, right? And then are the things you need. So if you haven't started your application yet, if this is the first time you're hearing about CMU Africa, I encourage you to go on our website after the call and then read more and then start your application. You need your resume, a transcript, and a statement of purpose. Now, if you are still in school, you're in your final year, or you graduated, you haven't done any internship, no full-time job, so you might think, well, I don't have a resume or CV. You do, right? Look at places, if you have involved in any volunteering work while you're in school. Did you work on group projects? Did you hold any office? Were you a prefect? Were you a president of a club? These things can be translated into professional skills. And then we will also need your transcripts. If you have final year, you don't have your full transcript here, that's fine. As long as you graduate before June next year and have your transcripts in by end of July, you're eligible to apply. And then statement of purpose. These are the 3 things you're going to need. I'll talk a little more about statement of purpose in the next slides. Now, December 15th is the early deadline, right? Now, December 15th is critical, very, very important in this application process. Why is it important? See, from January, once we receive your application, between January and March, you will review your application, will undergo a review, and then we'll invite you to come and take the test. You can take English proficiency test and then technical test. Now, these tests attract fees, right? They attract fees. However, if you submit your application by the 15th of this month, today is the 2nd. That means we have less than 2 weeks to submit your application. We'll cover the fees for you. The English proficiency test, the one we cover is the Duolingo test. So there's Duolingo test, there's Duolingo IELTS, and then others, but we cover only the Duolingo test, right? So if you submit your application by the 15th, you will cover the Duolingo tests, the fees, and that of the technical. And then once you take the test, we receive the test scores, a decision will be made. Orientation starts in August, and the first semester starts in September, right? So don't forget, if you are interested in applying with CMU Africa, just make sure once we finish the call, you start your application. Now, I mentioned SOP here. The last item that you need, to complete your application, how to write effective SOP, right? This is the purpose of what's the purpose of the SOP? This is what we are looking for. Now, within the application, right, we still provide more information, right? There are topics, that's a guide, actually, that is will help you write an effective SOP. You cover these areas, cover these topics. They ask you questions. As you answer the question and elaborate, that is when then you are putting your SOP together. Please don't plagiarize. Right? There are a lot of great, you see some SOPs out there that are they look really, really good, but this is not your work. This is not your work. You look at the bullet, you say, how prepared are you to study your master's degree? We want to know you, not somebody else, right? Don't go out there and look for SOPs out there, copy them. If you do that, we will know. Once we know that you have plagiarized, taking someone's work, claim that it is your work, you'll be blacklisted and you will never apply and be able to apply at CMU again. So please provide an authentic work. Here at CMU, our hearts are in the work. So we make sure we instill that in our students right from the get-go already. And then these are the two tests that I talked about. The Duolingo test, the website, that's their website. You can go there and then look at sample questions, practice, and be able to practice. The technical test, what it does is that it tests or assesses your analytical and quantitative skills and programming logic. Our programs, IT and engineering, right? So we want to make sure, we want to test your skills in these areas, right? You need programming, you need strong programming background and mathematics background to succeed in our program. So we want to, that's why we have this test to see where you are in this, with these skills. Now, funding, right? We have these scholarship, these financial aid options. We have the Mastercard Foundation, which provides full scholarship. And then we have the, if you're Rwandese, you get a grant from the government. And then we have the Minds scholarship. That one is for non-Rwandese. If you're not a Rwandese, but you're an African, you qualify for that. And then we have the other two that are the IFFF. And then the last two are within CMU. And then we have work study, where we have students work for the university and then they get paid. That helps them to support them financially also. Already, about 100% of our students have some sort of financial aid. How so? Well, I mentioned earlier that if CMU Africa certificate or diploma is the same as that of Pittsburgh, that of CMU Pittsburgh in the US, right? On your certificate, it's not going to say CMU Africa. It's going to say CMU, Carnegie Mellon University. So, and some of the courses you will take with your counterparts in the United States. Sometimes you attend the same classes virtually. You have the same instructor or professor, and you're all taking the same classes. So therefore, you earn the same degree. However, the tuition rate in the state is high, it's way much more than 100% that of here on the continent. So that means that even if you're paying full tuition here on the continent, you're already receiving some financial aid. Right? Okay, and then we have 77% of our students that they are fully covered. Correct. So our students, we have over 320 master's degree granted. We are working hard to educate the next tech leaders of Africa. This is our website. Okay, application is 15th of December for you to qualify for to become eligible for the fees to be covered. If you have any questions for me? If you don't have any questions, if you have questions, please put it in the chat, or you can come off mute and ask your questions. But at this time, I'll hand over the time to RJ. I don't know. Giving the time to you. Okay, there we go.
Thank you, Abel. That was a very good presentation. I like the way that CMU is providing Industry Innovation Lab, as it is our area of focus where we help businesses coming to life. So I really like that, and the way that diversity. So that was a good presentation. I want to ask if there is someone with a question so we can quickly grab it.
Adeline, before we go to the question, I would like for us to welcome our guest for today, Maria, who's working in our Industry Innovation Lab. She wanted to tell us more about what CMU is doing for our students and alumni who want to venture into being entrepreneurs. Oh, you can now unmute, Maria.
Thanks. Thanks for that wonderful presentation, Abe, and thanks to everyone who's been able to join the call today. My name is Maria Mayanja, and I'm the Entrepreneurship Program Manager at CMU Africa. I think Abe gave a bit of an overview about the Industry Innovation Lab, which I help to oversee. We mainly support our students and our alumni who are working on tech ventures, and seeing them grow their ventures and hopefully scale them across the continent. Since we are tech university, then we only support tech focused ventures at the moment. We're still young, so we have only 4 companies that are incubated within the Industry Innovation Lab, which we call the IIL, but we're looking to open it up beyond our community of students and alumni, and hopefully we'll be getting in touch with people such as you if you're interested in tech or are working on a tech venture. So maybe sometime next year, we'll be opening it up to beyond our community. So be on the lookout for that. Beyond that, I think also Abe mentioned that we have 3 tracks that one can follow as a student here at CMU Africa, either go into research or get a job, as getting into industry, basically. And lastly, you can get into the entrepreneurship track if that's an area that you want to focus on after graduation. So we are conscious of the fact that not everyone wants to get a job, right? So you could say, I want to continue my studies, go and get a PhD, or I want to start my own business, or just explore what entrepreneurship really is about, right? So the entrepreneurship track offers you the opportunity to do that with a couple of courses, entrepreneurship related courses within the curriculum. And in your second year, you get to work on an entrepreneurship project with a group of students. And if that project is strong enough, we can make a way for you to enter into our incubator. So in a nutshell, those are some of the efforts that we have. We at the moment, in terms of offering to our incubatees, they have space on campus that they can work from instead of them renting. So you're saving a lot as an entrepreneur who's working on a startup. And then they also have access to finance, some financial support for themselves and the business as co-founders. Then we also have access to CMU faculty, not just CMU Africa faculty, but CMU faculty from all over. So if you're working, obviously you're working on a tech problem, you get support from CMU faculty, or have access. We also have access to mentors. Our main campus in the US in Pittsburgh also has a bigger entrepreneurship center. So we're able to tap into that resource and get you mentors and also get access to investors. Yeah, so in short, that's those are some of our efforts in terms of entrepreneurship. Our entrepreneurs are working on really interesting solutions. So we're looking for solutions that have the ability to scale beyond just Rwanda or beyond just the country our students or alumni are coming from. So one thing about that may have not been mentioned about Rwanda as being a host of Carnegie Mellon University Africa is the fact that it's the second easiest place to do business on the continent of Africa. So it's easy for you to open a business. It only takes you 8 hours to register a business. So you can go in the morning, register your business in the office that is mandated with doing that, and in the afternoon you have your certificate and you can start operating. So a lot of the businesses that we actually have started, have registered themselves here in Rwanda, and they're working on a proof of concept at the moment in smart transportation, in smart agriculture, in the services, in renewable energy, and they're looking to grow. So like Abe said, when you come out of CMU Africa, beyond coming out with a degree, you're coming out with a group of people who are diverse, who are coming from different countries. So if you're ever thinking of, hey, I want to start a business in, say, for example, Harare in Zimbabwe, you've been in a class with somebody for 2 years who's from Harare, and you can co-found a business, right? So you've started, you've maybe registered it here in Kigali, in Rwanda, and you're able to expand it to Zimbabwe because you know somebody who's there because of their affiliation to Carnegie Mellon Africa. So Rwanda also has so many other support systems for entrepreneurs, especially technology entrepreneurs. So it's not an opportunity that you'd want to miss out beyond your academic goals. Yeah, so that's it from me. I really hope that you can apply to CMU Africa before the deadlines, and it would be good to see more faces from Botswana. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria, for joining the call. So do we have any questions for Maria? Adeline, Maria is your counterpart here. Do you have any questions for her? Or do you have any questions that you think your community will be interested in hearing from her?
I'm okay for now.
Thank you. Okay, Abe, do you have any questions for Maria so that we free up a few minutes of her hour today?
No, I think she answered the question I was going to ask. If, yeah, I was going to ask if it's only for like tech ventures, but I think she answered that. So
okay, good. Thank you, Abe. So Maria, thank you so much for making the time to be here today. I think we're going to give you 20 minutes back in your day. We'll let you know if any other questions arise throughout the call. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So I see that we have one participant here on the call. We are going to start the Q&A. Sekongo, do you have any question for us? You can unmute yourself and ask your question. All right. If there's no other questions from Sekongo, Adeline, do you have any questions about our application process? Anything that you would like for us to answer? I believe that this video is going to be posted on your social media accounts. So we want to make sure that we're covering all bases.
Thank you so much. I wanted to ask how easy it is for a foreign student to come and establish in Rwanda, how in regarding the papers and everything.
Okay, Abe, do you want to take that question?
Yes, very smiling. I think I would say Rwanda is one of the, when it comes to business, like Maria answered, shared. It's one of the easiest places to get things done. I've been around the continent, been around the south, west, and east and north, and all that. It's very easy. When you're coming to Rwanda, you don't need. Most countries don't need to apply visa in advance. There was visa on arrival. So then you get to the airport. You apply for your visa, and depending on the line there, so it takes less than 30 minutes for you to get your visa, and then you are on your way into the country, right? If you're a student, one of the reasons why one of the long-term goals of the Rwandese government that for CMU to be here, right, is to build a tech like Silicon Valley type here on the continent, and the government wants Rwanda to be where the Silicon Valley will be at. So the environment is very, very friendly, and very conducive for businesses. And there are quite a lot of businesses here in Rwanda, and the government continues to engage the public. Usually, the government actually is focusing on African entrepreneurs. Recently, there was an Angolan delegation that came here, and we had the opportunity to attend. And it was very, very eye-opening to see how much the Rwandese government is working to attract African entrepreneurs and develop them. It costs the government quite amount of money for CMU to be here, but why? It's not only for Rwandese, but for the continent as a whole. So to answer your question, one, to get a visa is very easy, right? Two, the government because of the government's long-term goal, the government continue to create and improve the environment for businesses to succeed here on the continent. So once you finish your education here, to settle here, it's not very challenging, in terms of if you want to start your own business and so on and so forth. There was this student that shared his experience that his internship is from, I think from Uganda or something like that. He did his internship with Bank of Kigali, with another student. Once they finished, they started their own business. He's not a Rwandese, but he did his internship with Bank of Kigali. Bank of Rwanda. So the government really supports the young African entrepreneurs on the continent.
Thank you so much, Abe. I'm very satisfied with that because I really know that Rwanda is very good with that. So I wanted to ask something else, like maybe if someone is in Botswana and they're interested to come to Rwanda to study, I want to know more about those the scholarship you said about the 75% and the 100%. Yeah, for them to know how much do they pay, how much, like for someone to have this overview of the school payments and everything, and the scholarship. Thank you.
Okay, so now with the scholarship, I'll say this, and maybe if Rosin has more to add. For all our students are considered as submitted, all our applicants, right, are submitted to be considered for scholarship, right? So it depends on the scholarship that a student qualifies for. Like the Mastercard Foundation, for instance, provide 100% scholarship, and then so if 100%, then it covers, sometimes even covers air ticket to fly from country of origin to Rwanda, and then once you graduate, if you want to go back, you have also funds to go back to that. So then if you have full scholarship that's covering your tuition and subsistence, is not like stipend, like day to day, is not included, then it depends on your lifestyle and the standard of living you want to, so I don't really have the figures, but I don't know if Rosin has more to add. But my point is that all our students are considered for scholarship, and once they get admission, then they have to submit their applications before they will be considered for scholarship.
So I can provide the link. I don't know how people are going to be able to access it, but basically our tuition is 16,000 a year. And that tuition is highly subsidized by the government of Rwanda and by Carnegie Mellon University, because it costs around 3 times that to get the same degree from the US. And in terms of scholarships, so all of our students are subsidized in that way. So they have a scholarship because the tuition is subsidized, but 77% are fully covered, meaning they have either access to the MCF scholarship or the government of Rwanda scholarship. And the MCF, as Abe said, is accessible to everyone, and it covers tuition and gives students a living stipend. So on average, we estimate that a student needs around $300 for food and accommodation and maybe transport a month when they're living here. And we also provide transport for students to get to the campus. We have a route where we pick them up, and they usually live not very far from here. And then the government of Rwanda is only, scholarship is only for Rwandan nationals. And we also have the mines, which is for international students, and it only covers tuition. And we also have 2 of our own funds that we use to supplement students. So we always really do our best to try to find funding for our students. I hope we answered your question, Adeline.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. So I don't think that we have any other questions from the audience here. Abe, do you have any other points that you want to raise?
Yeah. I just want to add to. I just want to encourage our listeners to submit your application. All right, submit your application. You will be once you submit, you will definitely be considered for scholarship. And if you let's say you get a scholarship that's paying full tuition, right? Then you have to pay for your living allowance and things like that. And it's very affordable, like it's been shared. So don't like let that prevent you from submitting your application. You would not know until you submit your application, you're considered for the scholarship. So focus on submitting your application, because every application is considered, and it's once you're admitted, you will be considered for scholarship. So focus on submitting your application, very solid application, your SOP, work on your SOP, and make sure that you submit strong SOP, and your chances of getting to boost your chances of getting admitted, right? Then after that, you would say, if you don't get how do you call a scholarship, or you award a scholarship and you feel like, well, you still cannot afford, at least you submitted your application. If you don't, you wouldn't know if you qualify not. So yeah, so what I'm trying to say is that submit your application, and then you see what happens.
Yeah, I agree with you. You miss 100% of all the chances that you don't
Exactly.
take. Okay. So I don't have anything else to add. It's just that we would like to get more applicants from this side of the world. As I said, we recently had our first student from Botswana, and she's doing really well here. So we would like to see more. So Adeline, if you don't have any other questions, I think we can close the session a bit early today. And if you have any questions, whoever registered to attend this call will be receiving a follow-up email from us. But in the meantime, they can write to us at applyafrica.andrew.cmu.edu. Oh, great. I see that Abe has posted it in the chat. All right. So yeah, that's the email that you can use, applyafrica@andrew.cmu.edu, and will be available to answer your questions. If you want us to cover your test fees, you have until December 15th to do so. All right. I think this marks the end of the call. Thank you, Adeline and Moketsi, for hosting us today. We look forward to working with you again, and maybe once the pandemic has cleared, that we can actually come to visit, and actually do a live session at your venue.
Thank you so much, Lozine. It was a pleasure being in the call with you. We hope to get more students from our side to come to Kigali and explore the beautiful of 1,000 hills.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same here. Thank you, Adeline. All right. Enjoy your evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, Abe.
Bye.
Bye.